Morning, this is National Weather Service in Pocatello with a weather briefing for Tuesday morning, December 11th. Starting off with satellite and radar imagery here this morning. See, there's very little activity remaining in southeast Idaho from last night's disturbance, which has been moving into Wyoming here early this morning. We do have a pretty substantial field of low stratus in here, and so a little bit of patchy fog this morning, maybe a couple flurries yet hanging around. We do have westerly winds in here, and we'll see a little bit of upslope activity in the corner here around the Upper Snake Highlands, Ashton Hill, Island Park area, and maybe down to around Driggs area in here with very, very light accumulation amounts expected through this afternoon. Over here to our west, entering into Washington, Oregon area is our next system coming in for Tuesday night. Our high temperatures today, we're looking for them to mostly stay below the freezing mark here. Burley area, we may creep just above by 1 or 2 degrees here this afternoon. Here's our next system coming in tonight, hitting the Central Mountains here early this evening. You can see the precipitation here. The moisture continues in the Upper Snake Highlands in here through the early afternoon and evening hours. As we mentioned, some very light accumulations in here, though. Starting this evening, though, we have a winter weather advisory out for both the Central Mountains up around Sun Valley Ketchum area and Stanley and the Eastern Highlands, and that will continue all the way into Wednesday evening. Minimum temperatures Wednesday morning, mostly in the teens and to middle 20s. We're looking for snow just about everywhere across southeast Idaho. And we are looking for the winds to pick up a little bit during the day Tuesday, not too much. So we'll be gusting up around possibly 20 miles per hour in the Snake Plain, though, but not really a great deal of snow accumulation to create a big, huge blowing and drifting situation in here at this time. Winds increase slightly during the afternoon hours, picking up, seeing some gusts up around 25 miles per hour approximately. And our snow totals here through Tuesday evening, early evening hours from the residual leftover activity from last night's system. We're pretty much up to about a half an inch up here around Island Park area, and that's about it for the leftovers from last night. The new system coming in, though, starting in a little later here, closer to 11 p.m. midnight time frame through tomorrow, Wednesday morning, we're looking for from 3 to upwards of 6 or 7 inches possible in the Upper Snake Highlands, and possibly Banner Summit area may see 8 or 9 inches here in some very isolated areas up here on the passes. Fairly good accumulations, though, from Ketchum area on up through Stanley. Early Wednesday morning, we'll have some additional accumulations expected, 2 to 4 inches here on the Eastern Highlands yet, and another 1 to 2 inches probably over here towards Stanley, Galena Summit area. snow total accumulations, possibly 8 to 12 inches up here in the Upper Snake Highlands, and 6 to 8 inches over here towards Stanley, Banner Summit area. Winds will be a factor. Tuesday night, we expect the winds to be on the increase here. These are the wind gusts, not the sustained wind values, but we are getting up around 30 miles per hour, maybe 35 on the south central highland areas. The higher exposed ridge tops in here, we may see some gusts showing up all the way to 50 miles per hour. Otherwise, generally on the windy side, most everywhere through southeast Idaho, dropping off a little towards Shoshone direction. And those winds continue into Wednesday morning. The frontal band we expect to be marching through right about 6 in the morning early. And those winds will pick up, particularly down here in the eastern Magic Valley here. The sustained wind speeds up around 30-35 miles per hour. And the wind gusts for that time period, we may see some winds getting up around 55 to 60 miles per hour on a few of those gap areas in there around Idaho area where we usually see those gap winds develop. Possibility of blowing and drifting snow is also a factor, even for the Snake Plain with some 1 to 2 inch snow amounts there. The winds would definitely be strong enough to kick that snow up. Winds continue into Wednesday evening, dropping off for the most part, but we're still quite strong down in Cassia County, I-84, stretched down there from the junction down to the Utah line. Forecast Wednesday evening, we see the system is starting to pull out of our area, moving into Wyoming, some residual showers, mostly along the Idaho-Wyoming line, and a few showers still over the mountains in the central mountains there during the evening, but most of the heavier accumulations winding down. As we look ahead towards the rest of the week, we have a new disturbance expected to come in probably Friday night. The models are being a little bit indecisive about this. We've had some timing issues in here, and we tried to slow the arrival of the system down towards more Friday night going into Saturday morning. The other issue we have is the splitting flow here offshore may result in the system splitting a little bit more, a little bit to the north, and part of it breaking off and moving a little further south. So total snow accumulations are very uncertain with this system here at the moment. That concludes the briefing for this morning. If you have any questions, please give us a call at the number on the slide.